8 here is just talking about operations with fractions. So the first, it says determine the following and express the result as a fraction or a mixed number. I believe on your exam it will be specific and tell you that you need to reduce it, and that if it is like an improper fraction, that you need to express it as a mixed number. Okay, so the first one, you have to know that sum means that you're adding, okay, of 12 over 5 and 1 over 4. So the rules for adding and subtracting of fractions is that you have to put them onto the same denominator. So I would look at these two numbers and see what they have in common and see if there's something I can easily multiply them to. So I, in this case, would choose 20 because 5 times 4 is equal to 20. Okay, so I would put them on 20. Okay, so you have to think, if you multiply the top of a fraction by the bottom by something, you have to multiply the same thing on the top. So in order to turn 5 into 20, I did 5 times 4. So you have to do 12 times 4 also. So when you do 12 times 4, that's 36. And here I did 4 times 5 to make 20. So you do 1 times 5 on the top. So 36 over 20 and 5 over 20. Then when you want to do the actual addition, you just add up the tops and you keep the bottom out of 20. So you do 36 plus 5. Okay, so you should have 36 plus 5 is 41 over 20. And then when you want to change this into a mixed fraction, because now it's an improper fraction because the top is bigger than the bottom, okay, so you should so you should end up being able to say how many times does 20 go into 41. So it goes in 2 whole times, and then 2 times 20 is 40, but you have 41, so there's 1 left out of 20. So 2 and 1 over 20. The next one that you have is doing the product, which means multiplication of 5 and 3 over 8. So the multiplication of fractions is actually much easier than any of the other operations, but the only problem here is that you have a whole number and a fraction. So you have to remember that there's an imaginary 1 under here because it's 5 whole things. So it's like it's being divided by 1. So you're going to do 5 over 1 times 3 over 8. So now you just multiply the top. So 5 times 3 is 15, and 1 times 8 is 8. And now you have to turn it again into a mixed fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So you do, how many times does 8 go into 15? Well, it goes in 1 whole time. So 1 times 8 is 8. And then you have to do 15 minus 8, which is 7. So you have 7 eighths left. Okay, which makes sense because if you had 1 more, it would be 16 divided by 8, which is 2. Okay, so that's your answer. It's expressed as a mixed number and you just leave it like that.